السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Masjid Carpark podcast, episode 374.
51.
Episode 51. How are you?
It should be up in the hundreds, but we do apologise to the regulars.
Mate, we're always apologizing. We're always
listeners or
apologizing.
viewers.
He's slack. That's what it is.
No,
I'm here
excuse
waiting every Wednesday night.
No, well, look, I'm
I'm
busy.
joking.
We're all busy. People have been sick. People are getting COVID again.
People are sick in the head.
There's too many things to do.
Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, exactly. So
The white picket fence is going up, but just very slowly.
Today I was just doing a lot of housework, like lawn mowing.
Oh, really?
Do not get an electric motor for $200, $150 from
Oh, the
Bunnings.
electric mower?
Get like a good one. Get a Tesla. Don't get a
Get a
go-kart.
Tesla.
A Tesla of lawnmowers.
Oh, righty.
Like-
I was like, is Tesla start making lawnmowers?
Electric lawnmowers are amazing because there's no petrol. It's not messy. It's clean, but they're so weak.
What do you
In my
mean
old-
it's
on-
not messy?
No, like in the other one, you have to put petrol in. You have
Yeah,
to put
yeah.
oil in. There's servicing. This thing, you just like chuck the battery in, like you got for your leaf blower or like your drill, and you just put the two batteries in, and away it goes.
Bro, my lawnmower at the moment is on the blink. I've been having
Which one do you have? Electric or
petrol?
Yeah,
Right,
the petrol
and I
ones.
have to reset it or whatever. Is it worth it?
It's light, like it's made out of plastic. It's thin, but don't get the cheap one if you have a big backyard. The rain and sun is unbelievable at the moment. We're in the end of November almost, and it's freezing cold.
Go back to the lawnmowers.
Sorry, rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun. Every 2
Yeah.
weeks you got to mow.
Oh, dude,
And
it's crazy.
If you have I had a small backyard in my old place, so the electric one was perfect. It just looked nice. Do a little bit at the front, a little bit at the back. Now I've got a proper, mashallah, like a back.
I haven't even seen your backyard.
It's not the front back. Also, the nature strip is so big.
Okay, but
I've got that double nature strip. Like
Yeah,
I've got the one lane.
it's a nice driveway. Like, it's a long driveway.
So but subhanallah, Khaliq, it's the electric motor. You have to do it in stages because the battery goes flat.
How long does the battery last?
Well, the thing is, the grass was so big,
Yeah.
and that was only cut 2 weeks ago by somebody else with a proper lawnmower, and now I had to cut it again.
What's the finish like?
Oh, nice! It looks good, but the thing is that it's not powerful enough to really like smash through it. So
Yeah,
you're
okay.
sort of like, if you're ever going to buy an electric mower are
Well,
in my opinion,
let's have this discussion because I'm on the market. You've started
looking for something. So
because the
I
one I've
wouldn't- I
got is
wouldn't-
just so much to fix, and you got to make sure you got petrol, change the oil.
This one just
Service
charge
it.
it and away you go. The only problem is, and you might have to service every couple of years, for the blade. But it's so easy. But the only thing is, don't get the cheapest one, the small, tiny ones that they sell at Bunnings. Get the bigger
The
one.
Ryobi ones.
No. I mean,
What did you get?
I don't know.
A
some
Zito?
Chinese.
A
brand.
Zito?
I don't know.
Oh,
One
so you just went
all of those guys, they make proper. Their tools are amazing.
Ryobi.
But get the. I'm sure if you go in the Bunnings site, you'll find something like $600. Like get the proper. Like someone said, I'm too poor to buy cheap stuff. So
Yeah.
so it's like, all right, I've done like an hour. I've done half an hour. Battery goes flat. 45 minutes goes flat.
Yeah, right.
Then I mean, it only takes a half an hour to an hour to mow the lawn anyway. But it's just like you have to go slowly because you can't take like when the battery starts to weaken. Like you got to do
Yeah.
half a half of the lawnmower width.
Yep.
And go back and forth. So just
Right.
makes it tedious and slow. Like you can't like with electric one, you can just smash through it.
Petrol one.
Sorry, petrol one, you just smash through it. And so anyway, that's my today that I did mowing, cleaning the house, laundry,
So what about the white
Works.
picket fence?
just doing gardening. So today was a very productive day.
Want to come around?
I feel very clean.
Want to come around my joint?
Uh,
Our front yard, the grass goes crazy.
yeah.
Backyard, we have no grass. So we used to have a lot of grass, a lot of weeds. The kid got a guinea pig for the baby. So the kids got guinea pigs. Those things eat anything. All I have in my backyard is dirt. Like there's not even like little patches of grass.
Oh, they really do go.
They eat everything.
How many guinea pigs do you have?
2.
And how big is the backyard?
It's not small. It's not big. It's not big. Probably,
Yeah.
I don't know, just
Maybe you should feed them.
we do. The point is they get all the scraps from the kitchen.
Yeah.
What I've been doing now is just going across the road. I've already spoken to the lady that lives across the road because her grass is just crazy and she never cuts it. So now I take scissors and I go there every morning and I just cut right?
With scissors.
And with scissors, just
Yeah.
cut like a bunch, bring it, chuck it for them, go there in the afternoon and do it. Funnily enough, in the last week since I've been doing it because everybody's away, half a nature strip has been mowed because of the guinea pigs. I just cut, feed them, chuck it there, and
Have you seen the? It's a what do they call it? It's a rabbit thing. It's like a triangular shaped thing.
we've got that.
And you move them around. Over the
It's
grass.
just a pain in the rear end to catch them to chuck them in there
Oh, okay.
for the front
Yeah.
yard. We tried it.
Yeah.
It's just getting them putting because now they've got free reign of the backyard. They just love it.
But after I mowed today, and the neighbors, like the savages that our neighbors are, where their grass, like my one's like down to the ground, like low, like it's a cut, and their one's like 2 feet high. Like I stopped right on the line
Didn't,
fence.
didn't you do Ikram al-Muslim?
No, I didn't. I didn't do any kram. I looked in disdain at their savagery.
Yeah,
and
after you cut
after
it.
I look at me how civilized I am, you know, and look at them.
I was like them to half an hour
They live
ago.
in a jungle, you know. They don't even like. Yeah.
Oh, how far?
No,
we
I was there like a week ago. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. How far we fall.
yeah, just
All
look,
of a sudden,
with disdain, I look at the 1 foot high grass. Makes him look so bad. Mine's like manicured. I just look over, you know.
Tomorrow they're going to come out with the most crazy.
The guilt, the guilt will-
landscaping.
Yeah.
And yours is
Well,
going
I got 2 weeks ago. I got the guy from across the road. He's got a factory. So there's a factory. There's factories
What's the
there.
factory for?
Oh, it's like mini little factories in Heidelberg.
Yeah.
Like shops, and there's a factory. So he's got like grass around it. So he's on the riding motor.
Nice.
So I said to him, I'll go up to him in the rain. I go, he's $50, just do my as well.
What did he do?
And he came. This is 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he came and he said, I go like, when you finish here, come to my thing. He goes, no, I own the factory here. Because like he's got just mower there for his own
Yeah.
factory. He said, but I'll come over. And then at the
what
end,
a
when
nice
he did
guy.
it, he did it for Morgan. His name's he did it, and I said to him, "I'd take the $50." Like he said, no, just like you look out, we're neighbors. And I said, oh, okay, good, no worries. You know?
Inshallah.
Yeah, so he did the front, but just watching in the machine, just like literally 2 minutes, just
Those
like
things are amazing.
back and forth, and he
Those
did the whole
things are
thing.
amazing.
Yeah,
My name is Forrest Gump.
good to have a good neighbor. Yeah,
Forrest Gump.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. He mows lawns
Yeah, oh,
at the
okay,
end.
all right.
Anyway, you
Alhamdulillah.
just killed the vibe just there. I don't know. I'm
So don't get.
I'm talking
point
about
is
Sheikh Forrest Gump.
don't buy a cheap electric mower because it's not worth it if you have a proper yard. It sounds good, but get a powerful one. Get the Tesla, the top end stuff. The batteries last longer. It's got power to cut through. You know, like
You've
heavy.
given me food for thought, young man.
Yeah, I mean the petrol is like, it's so messy. They get stuffed up. Water gets into it. You know,
I
like
didn't have any. My only issue is there's something wrong with the revs on it. I've YouTubed it, but I just haven't had time to fix it.
the electric ones are like electric cars. I mean, the batteries are small though, but if you get a proper battery and it's like you just recharge the battery, chuck it in. You don't have to go to to a petrol station to get petrol. You don't have to get
I
oil.
don't have jerry cans. Well, I need jerry. I've got
Yeah,
jerry cans from like just going
So,
out
like,
bush anyway. But
it's easy, you know.
nice.
No, it was good, mashallah. Like today was good.
So you've regaled us with your stories of cleaning the house.
Yeah, cleaning everything, and it was good. I was very productive.
You trying to impress
I'm very
people or
proud.
what? I am a homely man.
I was talking to a mutual friend. I said, like now, like once you achieve like something, like you, I think our standards be dropping. Like you do something productive. You said, give yourself a pat on the back. I need a coffee. I've done something.
20 years ago, it was just what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
There
Now
was no
it's
pat on
like,
the back.
that's pretty impressive. Like I've done
Do
something.
you know people
I've
don't
achieved
know,
something.
Just talking about house stuff. Do you know people don't know how to change a light globe? There's people out there. I'm not talking about the long light globes. How to change a washer in your tap. The simple stuff. That's a bit scary. We've become such a.
Today I was in the
useless
roof a little
society.
bit. I was trying to get rid of the possums. I was like,
How are you planning on doing that?
well, I got this spray. It's a possum
Bro,
repellent
you're
thing.
gonna get attacked.
Huh? Yeah,
You're
I
gonna get attacked.
because there's a lot of them up there, and they're having a party up there. It's summer.
How
spring,
many are there?
It's spring. I don't know. It's like leprechauns are walking in my roof, like they're dancing on the roof at night time. They jump. I got a fruit tree
Are
next.
you actually serious?
I'm not joking. It's a zoo up there.
Did you see them?
I can't sleep. I can't sleep.
But did you see them?
I opened the window because I got a fruit tree on the second floor. So there's a fruit tree, and those little yellow fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just the possums; it's the giant fruit bats that have to come to stay next to me.
Fruit bats are cool.
No, they're not. They're scary as hell in front of me. And it's like I came out to look what the hell's going on. I hear this above my head. And then I see like Batman, like a giant bat flying away. And then
That's cool.
And then after a little while, I go inside. I can hear. And they're back on. They're latched on the.
Can you do that eating noise again?
It was just.
No,
It was
one more time.
They're scary.
Do the eating noise
You
one
know
more
how
time.
big those things are?
I know.
They're like a dog with wings. They're massive.
They're not that big. Relax.
They're huge. They're huge. Or cat with wings at least. And then the possums and them are having a fight. And then the possums, they're obviously breeding.
The possums and them are having a fight.
This whole night they're scratching. I swear, like you put your hand on the blackboard. This is what they're doing the whole night. They're having a party above my head, and this till Fajr, and then they go to sleep after Fajr. So what I got?
So why don't you start the party at
So I
Fajr
got
time?
I'm coming up with strategy how to get rid of them. The final thing is just to call the council and get. So what? I don't know where they're coming.
So you went to spray, climbing the roof,
I've sprayed the
everything
roof
else before
it's not
calling
working.
the council.
The spray's not working. I've done a spray empty the whole bottle in the roof. That hasn't done it. Today I just took the lid off, and I just like blessed them through the roof, just in all directions. Put my head in the manhole.
Your holy water,
and
your possum holy water.
I've sprayed it, and I hope for the best. That's one thing. I'm not sure if tonight. Let's see how it goes.
Can you do me a favor? Can you please do me a favor?
I bought
record it.
I bought two
for the podcast.
Those Sonic things.
Yeah.
I bought two of them. Charged them. Put them in the roof. Nothing. Now I put them in the yard, like they're solar powered and whatnot. I charged them. Got a battery charger as well, and two of them. So as soon as anything walks in front of me, it says like a Sonic thing, so I've got that going as well. But what happens is at 2:00 sharp, this possum comes from the next neighborhood.
It starts with time, bro.
Yeah, he comes out and he goes, but my roof's got a metal roof, right? So he's like jumps off. I swear, every morning, like I get a heart attack at 2:00 in the morning. He jumps from like the tree. It's like a little man that's jumped on the roof, and then it's like, I swear, it sounds like someone with boots running across the roof. It's like
is that
a little leprechaun. Huh?
Is that what you wake up to?
That's what I wake up to, and then he goes to that side, and then like 3:00 he comes back, like he eats or something, and then he runs again, and then jumps a tree, and then that's when I open the window.
His missus.
Then I went to window, and then he just looks at me. It is huge. It's a beast.
He's like, take me on, let's go.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. I don't know what you are and how to deal with it. And I opened the window, sprayed him a little bit, and that's it. But other than that,
maybe his missus lives across the other side of your roof.
Maybe. Yeah, I think they got a family up there. He's got several families.
He's got to sneak in.
Yeah,
so he doesn't get busted.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my possum.
Do you have experience with that?
I'm not. Yeah.
Can you please record this? Even the sound effects, please, for the podcast.
I will record.
I want to play it next week for everyone.
I will record the sound. What I'm doing now is like to just shut them up, and so I can sleep. So in the bathroom there's like 3 fans, right? The toilet, the laundry, and in the shower there's 3. So I turn all 3 of them on. So there's like a bit of a white sound. You know what white sound is?
That bad?
What is it?
White noise.
White noise. A white noise maker. So that to just create a buzz, so they be quiet a little bit. I was.
Bad?
I was spraying. I was spraying through the the
vents. Yeah.
Vents so that it fills up.
Yeah, but those ducts that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Bro, you know where the heating vents?
Yeah.
There's a hose on the other side of that's blowing the hot air in. So it's not going to get into your roof.
No.
Spray.
It goes into the roof.
No, dude.
Some of them go into the roof. Some of them go into like a vent.
Are you talking about the bathroom?
That one goes into the roof. I know.
You're talking about your bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, that's different. I thought you were talking about the heating
it
vents.
goes into the ceiling.
I thought you were spraying in the heating vents.
Anyway, that's the last thing I was coming up with, which I didn't do. The nebulizer, is it nebulizer? The steam thing?
Yeah.
I was going to put that poison stuff in there, put it in the roof.
Bro, that's no.
And
That's suicide. It's going to affect you.
It's doing my head in.
Yeah, but if you have a possum die in your roof, you're going to have to get up there and remove it. Otherwise, can you imagine?
I'll get my son to remove it.
Imagine the smell.
He's working. He always does he's doing ACs.
Why, he removes possums?
No, but he was telling me that last month. Like he goes to the roof because he's doing installation, air conditioning installation. That's his trade, right? So he goes, I went into one of the roof and I was like crawling through the space, and he goes, there's all this liquid, so it's just all possum pee. Like, so anyway, that's just work.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, well, you wanted to be
No,
tradie.
no,
Go enjoy your life. Like, I wanted you to
you left
sit in a
Alim
nice
course?
white collar. Yeah, I wanted you to do
A
nice,
white collar Alim course job.
Collar, but anyway, it's what you want to do. Anyway,
Yeah, so you're saying that with a bit of satisfaction, aren't you?
no. I'm
like I
happy.
told you
He's
so.
working hard. It's clear.
No, he's a good boy. He's a very good boy, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. What's happening with you?
I want to hear the recordings before we go on to anything. I want you to record their faces, especially the big fella at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That bat.
Yeah, the bat might be gone. I haven't heard it for like 2, 3. I know it could be. I'll check.
We've got to see this.
There's no fruit left on the tree, so for you to stay.
We've got to see this on video.
Yeah.
And I want you to video yourself as well, videoing them. Just a quick turn and then back.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of those vlogs. What is it? TikTok vlogs or whatever they call them?
Reaction videos or whatnot.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What else?
What's happening with me?
It's been a while.
It has been a long time. Not much, really. Just working, kids, guinea pigs, cutting grass for the guinea pigs, trying to fix a lawnmower. My life's pretty boring. It's been too cold. I can't wait till summer comes in. I was actually speaking to someone today about going bush first weekend, December, inshallah.
December, that might be still cold.
I know, that's what I'm worried about. I just want to get out there, man.
See, global warming is not real.
No, global warming is real. This is climate change.
This is, now they change it. First they were saying it's getting warmer. Now when it's cold, they're saying, no, it's just changing.
What he's doing is trying to bait me. I know he's trying to bait me. So there you go. Sea levels rising.
Yeah. I don't know, because we go to the beach and it's the same every year. With 20, 30 years we've been there, it's been the beach.
No, it hasn't.
Really? We're losing the beaches?
Really? 20, 30 years. Have a look at videos of what's happening in the UK. Have a look at what's happening against the beaches. Those
I'm talking about St Kilda.
No.
I'm talking about Port Melbourne.
I'm not talking about
the beach
St.
has been the same place where it's always been.
That's because that's pretty much man-made because of the ports.
What are you talking about? The beach is there. It's part of the same ocean as the rest of the world.
I'm talking about cliffs falling into the ocean.
What's cliffs got to do with the global warming?
Because of the change in the seas, the rising, they hit the cliffs, bang, down. We're losing land.
Erosion happens anyway because of the ocean.
No,
12 apostles, man. Go to London
There's
Bridge.
there's not 12 apostles
That's
anymore.
That's erosion.
But there isn't 12 apostles anymore.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them left or something.
Like it's increased at such an exponent.
What's increasing? That's just erosion that happens over hundreds of millions of years.
What about bleaching in the Great Barrier Reef?
Yeah, that could be due to pollution. That's got nothing to do with global warming. That's just with...
That's from the rising temperatures.
I don't think so.
That because I actually read an article today. They did this. They've put certain...
It's easier to swim in water that's warmer.
They've...
Yeah, anyway.
There was some research done, and they've done some tests where they're actually getting temperature resistant coral that's spawning. However, like they've done this off-site at a separate place. However, you need a lot of that. In a nutshell. Apart from that, Dan Andrews elections coming up.
Yeah, Dan the
man.
What someone said today?
Dan the man.
No, Dan the dictator. Dan.
No,
someone from Sydney who lives in Melbourne told me today. Oh, they like Dan because he's like very firm and I never saw like he doesn't. He's no nonsense.
He is no nonsense.
He is no nonsense. I just realized that today. I said,
really?
Oh, really? I said, he goes, yeah, because I respect that.
Yeah,
he's not a political guy.
He's just matter of fact. This is what it is. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm going to do.
I realized, I was just discussing today somebody that there's 2 things. There's compassion, which you generally find more in Labor than Liberal.
100%.
But Liberal gets a lot of things right. Like there's things that they get right.
Okay, explain.
Like, so for example, when it comes to immigration policy, the Liberal will look at, as an example. No,
are you becoming a Ted Cruz right now or a Marco Rubio?
No. The Liberal and Conservatives are about doing things in a systematic way, protective way, make sure that like borders are not just left open or people just coming in left and right. They take a more firmer stance.
Should we build a wall?
Should we make it? Well, they're making it still in America. Joe Biden's making it.
Is he?
They've continued. Yeah. They took one thing, but even for them,
but is he?
Yes. They don't say it, but they're doing the same thing because countries have to have borders. That's just a common sense thing. The idea that anybody can just walk into your country without proper procedures, visas, so forth, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
So,
going.
and most of them are economic migrants. They're not refugees.
That's
in
right.
Australia, a lot of what we used to get majority used to get is refugees
Proper refugees.
from Sri Lanka, from Afghanistan, from other places. So most of what we used to get is not just I don't think we used to get Burmese as well. We get so anyway, the point is that I think that like for example on the LGBT issue is an issue that we cannot agree with as a policy because of the right and wrong. But at the same time, I understand, like, I was listening to him with Dan Andrews the other day, and he was saying about, or maybe it was an older video I was listening to. He said there's kids that are committing suicide.
Well, I feel his heart's in the right place.
Yeah, like you can see that, all right, he means well because, like, when he said that, because their kids are it doesn't make
he's not translating it.
boys dressing as girls or having kids like the whole thing is wrong actually. Islamically, well, definitely from Islamic perspective,
Yeah,
it's wrong.
of course.
So when you're looking at just the emotions of the person, when you're looking at those kids who've got those issues, then like you said, there's kids that are teenagers that are committing suicide. Like I'm not gonna let that on my watches.
Yeah.
So you can see the compassionate argument overrides the right and wrong.
Even during COVID, I felt like people might say he's got an agenda and this and that, but even during COVID, I do feel like he was just looking out for people, making sure the least amount of people got affected or died on his watch.
Even the Western Australian Premier, he said, like they had the most strictest. They were cut off from the rest of Australia, and said, "I'm not going to have on my watch people die. I'm not going to have that on my conscience." So there's a caring. I guess you can say that, like you're put in that position.
Mike McGowan, yeah.
Either you do the right thing, and then you see in China, for example, they've lost the plot. Like,
China's gone nuts.
Like
Allah protect us from.
They just had a protest today where people just came out. Is enough. They left their homes. They've been 2 weeks in one of the cities.
Yeah, the zero COVID policy has gone crazy.
Guangdong, one of the export cities, like they had when they do a lockdown, they do like IKEA. Do you see the IKEA one? No. So if you found out someone's COVID positive
in IKEA,
they shut down the whole IKEA. People are trying to break through the doors, trying to get out. Well, they've got beds to sleep on, I guess. So you try it all out.
But do you remember when COVID first started, how people were actually just getting sealed in their houses with no food?
Yeah, but they're still doing that. The people starved in their houses.
Yeah.
So they've got like because it's an authoritarian, dictatorship. So they go down that route like that, at that extreme. But people today that city just broke out and just went out in the streets.
You know how many people are communist in Melbourne now?
Actual communists?
You'll be shocked, extreme left, how much of the extreme left identifies with communism.
Yeah, I think they should read history a little bit.
It's actually scary. Yeah, I've had certain conversations. I've been privy to certain conversations, and young kids, they have no idea, for them, communism works.
Yeah, I think what did they say?
But it's a natural progression.
It wasn't done properly.
Yeah, it's a natural progression of being far left. That's the way you go.
Yeah, like you have
fascism.
You have to now, like the discrepancies that unfettered capitalism has created, like all those we need to do like an extreme position to flatten it.
They've gone too extreme now.
Yeah,
and it's gone to such an extent that you're alienating large parts of your population.
Exactly.
And where are you going to go? But if you don't listen
homelessness.
To them, but if you don't listen to them, you're not understanding, or you're a bigot, or you're whatever, and you get targeted. And what's the newest word? Cancelled.
Yeah, and interestingly, like in the US, like for example, like Australia's not that bad. Like it's not really a big issue. But in the United States, like you look at it, like the same medicine that costs $8 here costs $2,000.
It's crazy.
$2,000 over there. Have you seen those videos on the hospital bills?
Yeah,
$30,000 for a baby.
And then they ask them what it was, but when they go back and ask them an itemized bill, the bill comes back less as well.
Yeah,
just crazy markups.
Yeah, like $200,000, $300,000. Like that's.
But this is the thing: people get shocked in Australia that we can go to a doctor. We don't actually realize how good we've got it. We can go to a doctor, not pay anything.
Yeah.
Get treated, go get medicine, pay a fraction of what it costs anywhere else, and you're back on your feet.
United States, you can't do that. People will die because people are rationing insulin in the United States. That's how bad it is. People died from it. Many examples were given of people that died from.
They've got their freedom though.
Yeah, of course they got their guns and their freedom.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Allah protect us, man.
Sometimes
That's why I
Americans
love
can be
Australia.
really dumb, like that's. Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah, I mean, like in these sort of things, like their own interests, like
Yeah.
at the cost of their own
It's because
interests.
of red and blue.
Yeah, I mean,
your
it's-
political
it's-
parties.
it's-
Who do you
yeah.
stand behind? It's not about what's right
Yeah. Yeah.
or
and
what works best for us.
Speaking of interest, like now, just remembered as one of the people are going on with Twitter. So of course, Elon Musk has,
Mr.
and he
Musk.
sacked the directors or the board or the management.
Did you see that video where he sacked that lady on the Joe Rogan show, on the podcast?
Who?
Elon Musk. He was there with the head of some department,
Yeah.
and Joe Rogan asked a question, and she goes, "Look, we should admit something like this. That
When was this?
We made it recently. We made a mistake there. Elon Musk is sitting there, and he goes, in your position, you're fired." And Joe Rogan just goes, everyone there just goes quiet, and she's like, he goes, "No, you're fired." And she just got up and left.
Far out. He's a bit of a megalomaniac, sort of.
100%.
Like he's just a weird,
crazy
But
megalomaniac.
the thing is that people are trolling him so hard now
Yeah, I've
with
seen
the
it.
$8 tick thing, the blue tick.
And then
So for example,
even
some-
the ones that wrote that this is parody, he's even cancelling those because
Because
said,
they make fun of him. He does.
Yeah.
For a guy
You
who
have
said
to-
he goes, "I'm bringing comedy back," he cannot take a joke. And then he did this thing. These people that made these fake accounts, they paid the $8. And then they advertised insulins for free. We decided to give it the company that makes insulin in America, so their like stocks tanked. But then it shows you something that hundreds of millions people are only in. Like if you're putting money into a company, I know it's an investment, and then a company announces a humanitarian. I know you're not there for the humanitarian. You're there to make money, profit from that pharmaceutical.
That's right.
But the fact that everybody started pulling their money out.
But that was the best time to buy, man.
No, but they're pulling their money out, and because the company that I'm investing is doing something for humanity.
Yeah, because it would decrease their profits.
Yeah, I know, but it just
I
shows
understand what
you
you're
how
saying.
people are not
They don't care.
altruistic. They're not there
They
to
don't care.
help
Majority
anybody.
of people do not
Everybody's there for the look at the bottom line and
Yes.
for their own personal interest. And then someone made there was another account made for about Tesla, real Tesla,
No, I don't know that
with a
one.
blue tick, and something about, I can't remember what it was. They were making all these accounts in different people's names. Oh, they made George Bush and who was the British Prime Minister at the time? Tony Blair.
Yeah.
And he goes, "It's been a while since we killed Iraqis. I missed the old days." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I do, Mr." They're talking to each other on Twitter. So some ruthless.
Did he cancel those ones?
I don't know, but they were like George Bush,
Okay,
Junior.
we need to find out.
Yeah. They were hilarious.
Yeah,
So-
because that's a whole new account at the real
like,
tick.
you know who else made an account? Marmite. They
Yeah.
made a Vegemite account praising Marmite.
No.
How it's the original and it tastes better than Vegemite. and they send a message because the best $8 we ever spent. Anyway, so people seem to be real. It's like they're making mockery of it.
Do you think Twitter's going to last? Or it's
It'll
gonna
last.
implode?
It's too big because it's too quick and easy, and everyone's already locked into the system. What's going to replace it?
No. What I mean by that is as a reliable news source to a certain extent, straight from the horse's mouth. Because now you don't know who's speaking.
No, that'll get filtered out. I mean, all of this they'll fix all that
It'll
up.
slow down.
Yeah, they'll fix all that up. It's a bit of a mess.
But what happened to freedom of speech, man?
What do you
As soon as
mean?
he took over.
No. They'll come around. These are teething problems. These will be fixed. It's not an easy.
Financially, he likes his
just
money.
he just bought something for $44 billion. It's too big, and he's cutting the staff down to half or something. And because these guys just
but then next day they
they're
asked
just
him to come
sitting. Half the staff just sits around all day. Like
Yeah.
they've got fancy lounges and everything. And he's an engineer. He's cold-hearted. He's a Tesla guy who like.
Well, is he an
basically-
engineer?
Yeah, IT engineer, like that sort of background. So he's coming in like he's gonna trim all the fat. All those people with purple hair are disappearing from there.
No,
So half of them will be. No, he's already cutting it down. Yeah, people are quitting. People are, There's some funny stuff as well when that when he sacked the people, some people went up like you see the guy with the cardboard boxes.
No.
Like,
I've been.
so what's happened
just
is like
running around
there's a
too
guy
much.
that just because all the media's turn up in front of Twitter headquarters. So there's
Oh,
guys
yeah,
walking-
the fake one.
the fake ones, like they just been sacked and they're giving they're giving interviews, but they're not even working. They never like they're walking
Yeah,
out with
yeah,
all their
okay, yeah,
stationery
yeah.
and their their stuff from their desk.
And the media-
That's all you need to do, trick the media to get it. And they're giving like press conferences to people. Yeah, it was a really rough day. And he's a Twitter engineer.
Mashallah.
People just taking the mickey out of it. They're having fun.
Do you
I think
identify? Do you identify with Elon Musk?
No, I really don't like.
Not the billionaire side of things, the personality side.
No. He's a bit of a weirdo.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a strange one. Like a
He's a self-made man
yeah
to a certain extent.
No, he's not.
With his
No, he's
millions
not.
from his parents.
from
So
the
let me finish.
apartheid.
Let me,
they're probably
let me
from
finish the apartheid profits. Right, he hasn't. What's the best way? Has he struggled? That's the question, the $1 million question.
I don't think so.
Struggle is what makes you.
I think like Mark Zuckerberg and
Yeah.
all these guys, they knew how to use other people's talent. Like Tesla wasn't made by him.
Yeah,
He just took it. He
these
took
three
somebody
other
else's
guys,
idea,
yeah.
but he just like he got his profits from PayPal and then he used that. I mean, he's smart. It's not stupid, but like to say he's self-made is I don't think that. I think that's a very self-made is
Is
not.
it outdated?
Yeah, I don't think that's real. There's too many
There's
people
no more
involved.
Henry Ford. There's no
How
more.
many people involved in your life to
a
help
good
you
point.
along the journey? You know,
Yeah, even if it's parents looking after kids or
yeah,
you know,
little
anything.
things. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's from Allah. You know, it's qadr is like Allah is providing, and all the opportunities in your life, all the things that you do experience, they're part of your rizq. So it means they're coming from Allah. So Allah is making experience things, go through things, see things, and putting all the opportunities in front of you. And and at the end you say Alhamdulillah, like that. You know that the in Surah Kahf, the two guys in the garden. You know the one Muslim
brothers.
believe.
Yeah.
And he said that, he goes, say Alhamdulillah. He said, no. Like he said, I did it. Like I've got, look at me and look at you. You're so poor and look at what I did. I pull up your bootstraps, as the people say,
Yeah,
by
that's
bootstraps.
true. You need to work harder.
Yeah, you need to work harder. You need to hustle. You need to do this. And no, like Allah did it and Allah provided and Allah gave me all my opportunities. Alhamdulillah. So, like that's what you're supposed to say. You're not supposed to say, look what I did. Like even Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they're with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they're sitting and said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what are you sitting? He said, we're praising Allah for how He has guided us. Like their hidayat, he goes, like against all odds, we're sitting here remembering Allah
Subhanallah.
and thanking Allah for how He guided us to Islam. Like against all odds, we're in Jahiliyyah. We're in a society that pretty much allowed daughters to be buried alive. We, like all the things that were happening before Islam. It's called Jahiliyyah. The era is called like so many bad things were happening. And Allah sent a prophet among us. And illiterate people said Allah sent a unlettered prophet among them. And like they're sitting in Medina Munawwara, Masjid Nabawi, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the city of Islam, like in the heart of it. Like they're praising Allah for how against all odds that they've been guided. So, Alhamdulillah, we pray. As Khabib would say, Alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Speaking of Alhamdulillah, Brother Andrew.
Yes,
How do you feel about Sheikh Andrew, Brother Andrew?
So Andrew, Rajul. Andrew actually means Rajul, man, the man.
Does it actually?
Yeah, in English, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. I think it's Irish or something like that. But anyway, Andrew.
Andrew.
Andrew Tate became Muslim. Allahu Akbar.
Did you see
Inshallah.
how many people were like talking about leaving Islam because he became Muslim?
Yeah, those tweets
Astaghfirullah.
and like astaghfirullah. And that's a very
Like that's what the hell. Instead of being happy that someone's
Yeah.
gotten hidayah, we take it at face value, right?
yeah, there's something wrong with those people. And they say,
I
look,
read one thing about I'm going to look
there's two
towards Buddhism now.
there's two extremes in this. Inshallah, if Allah give him istiqamat and keep in Islam, they lives and die Islam. We just have to be
Ameen.
cautious that he's he's penetrated the how would you say it? The whole media,
Yes.
like permeated it last few months, given a shock to the system. You put in the swimming pool to kill the algae,
Yeah.
like you put the what do you call that? The
Chlorine.
or whatever it is. He shocked the system. Like he broke through. Like he
Or was it a
he-
setup?
Him and Putin were the most searched people. Like
That's
like
crazy.
last month or 2 months ago. So like the zeitgeist, like he's actually really penetrated like everything. And he's been banned because he's changing, like they say it's misogyny, this, that.
Yeah.
And he
I
said,
think I've got a feeling it's deeper than that. We just don't know it.
yeah, but that's one thing. So having said that, someone who had that profile and on a social thing, like on a social level, he's penetrated and he calls out the BS on certain, like you don't have to agree with everything he says, but certain things, the nonsense,
Yeah, we spoke about it
especially
before.
the lefty sort of woke feminist nonsense, like he's called it out.
Yep.
And then he sees like strength in Islam, and Allah guided him towards. He had a friend because he grew up in what's that place in England? He's American but grew up in England, and so he's like outclassed, like, and they banned him on the social media and all that. And alhamdulillah, at the end he says Shahada, becomes Muslim, right?
Which is, that's it. At the end of the day, that's it.
Inshallah, that's
Alhamdulillah.
enough for his najat. But also we have to be cautious. We say alhamdulillah on that, Allahu Akbar, and Allah's guided him. The only things we have to be cautious Muslims that he is not he's someone, his views are not representative of Islam.
Yes,
Like,
and
we have to be
this
cautious
is what
of
I was
that,
going
like,
to
yeah.
say. He is not a scholar.
Yeah.
He doesn't have. Don't take what he says on Islam as gospel.
Yeah. And we've had this situation before with very famous people like Yusuf Islam, Cat Stevens, who went back to sort of using musical instruments and whatnot. And sort of like, you know, they leave the Jahiliyyah a lot. Sometimes those things are very hard to leave. They're not a representative of Islam.
Yes.
He's probably good. I met him. He came to
Mashallah.
when he came to Melbourne. He came to
Did he ask you to sing with him?
It was my Jummah, and then he came to meet me in the office. And one of the brothers, you know, it was nice. Like he's like seems like a gentleman and a very nice person. But I think like
Just because he said the guitar's okay or music's okay.
yeah. I mean that's not.
doesn't mean it
it
is.
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't justify it. So that's one thing. Secondly, like for example, Mike Tyson when he became Muslim.
Yeah.
Right, or David Chappelle, these celebrities, right? Alhamdulillah, they're Muslims, but like he's got his hot box. He just smokes pot the whole time now.
But the point is, he might. Everyone's Muslim, like we're Muslim.
Yeah,
But for me, not you, what I say does not necessarily mean it's a fatwa in Islam. Just because these guys are famous, and
Yeah,
they
I mean,
say
like,
spit
because
something out of
I
it. That's
think
what
in
we
our
have to be careful of.
I think in our time we love famous people a
Yeah,
lot.
but don't take our din from them.
Yeah, cricketers and sports people. I think these things we respect because we appreciate
Cricketers,
talent.
show us your Paki side, mate.
Yeah. Oh well, we.
Oh, speaking of cricket,
T20. Like, yeah.
how do you feel?
I don't feel anything. Actually, I'm happy they lost. Sorry, because that would have the T20 2022 would have replaced the greatest match that's played MCG, where Pakistan 92 won the World Cup.
Let me guess, you were there.
I was there. That's the only cricket match, and I would have not been able to tell that drop it in conversation to Pakistanis.
I was there at that.
So 92 World Cup, I was there, and everyone in Pakistan goes, "Oh, really? The best of the best." Imran Khan, Wasim Akram, Javed Mirdad.
They were.
That was like the.
That was a different era, man.
Yeah. So
Even every team.
It's still for the MCG, the greatest match that when Pakistan won the 92.
Just because you were there, your Noor was present.
50 over, one day then, so it's kept it at the top. But I sent a message out, so all the messages are coming now. It's only a game. Akhir is more important. At least we were ahead of so-and-so, India, because India, they were knocked out in the
Pakistan
semi-final.
got into it as a fluke.
Is a fluke after fluke after
Fluke. Like,
yeah.
just coincidence. It wasn't because of their efforts.
Yeah.
It wasn't they played so well, they deserved to be in the final.
England deserved to win.
100%.
And even Australians, even 92, I remember, and this time as well, Australians, they want England to lose.
I wanted England to win.
No, the Aussies don't like him. You might not. But Aussies, they hate England so much.
Yeah, no.
They prefer somebody else win instead of England.
This time I was going. The reason I was going for England was it was the better team, and they deserved to walk away.
They
with
played
the World
well.
Cup.
They played well.
They deserved to walk away with
across
the World
the board
Cup because they worked hard throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fluke that they were there.
Yeah, I mean, they lost.
But don't you think, just talking about cricket, that era, Wasim Akram, Imran Khan, then you had Viv Richards on the other end, Lara, Ambrose.
It was a very different.
It was
like
a different class.
It's like
of game.
NBA in the 90s. Remember the NBA?
It was
Remember Michael
rough.
Jordan was
It was
when the 90s. Hakeem Olajuwon.
They weren't. Everything actually.
Basketball,
even footy. They weren't so precious.
Yeah. They
weren't so precious.
So
it was.
The 90s was sports-wise.
It was cutthroat. It was just full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Even
Imran Khan came in front of us. He was wearing his T-shirt with a tiger, and then he came in front of us and he's doing push-ups in front of us. And And yeah. We're fanboying her. And then
I'm not
I was like
fanboying
12, 13 at that time. Then I remember a parody on TV at the time on the Late Show. They said, Imran Khan, you're going to be playing tomorrow. He goes, yeah, I play like a tiger. You know? But anyway, there was a lot more to it, which I can't say. But it was
oh, bro, they used to party as well.
yeah.
I'm
Unfortunately,
not talking about Imran Khan. I'm just saying it's general.
We met them. They came to Doncaster in Ummah Centre Mosque. My father's imam. They had iftar because it was Ramadan. Some of the guys came, not the big boys, the big famous ones.
Yep.
But the other guys came, and
I remember Dad sneaking, or not sneaking, but Dad taking me and my brother into the change rooms in Adelaide Oval when Imran Khan and Wasim Akram had just won the match for him. And there was no one there but those two and a reporter.
Oh well.
Yeah, I remember going into the change rooms.
I think every Desi got access.
But do you know what we were most shocked with?
Yeah.
We were most shocked with that there was a freezer and it was just full of drinks, a fridge, and you could drink as much as you want.
Oh,
more than those two. I wasn't blown away with that. I was like, look at all this coke.
I think in the '92 World Cup, I think the reason we were there, they just took every Pakistani from the mosque. Like there's one uncle, I won't mention his name, but he was a.
Oh, did he actually take you guys?
Everybody was taken. Like every Pakistani in Melbourne was, I think, at that match. Because nobody here in Australia. '92, there's hardly any South Asians, you know. So everybody was there probably.
So imagine how much less they were in Adelaide. You're talking about Melbourne.
Yeah,
and then go to Whyalla.
Yeah, wow.
Actually, Whyalla's like, as a percentage of the proportion of the population, it's probably higher than other places just because all the doctors and engineers are from the subcontinent.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. So anyway, back to Sheikh Andrew Tate.
Look, I think, alhamdulillah, he's Muslim.
That's it. And we'd leave it at that.
But look at the things that made him Muslim. Is that Muslims call a spade. Muslims encourage strong traditional family values.
Yep.
Right? Muslims, like the things that he liked.
They don't compromise.
And Muslims don't compromise on right and wrong. They don't water down. Because alhamdulillah, we have a book. We have a prophet. We know the teachings of Islam. We're weak in practicing it, but we know what's right and wrong. We know where the parameters are. Even if you don't do it, but at least you know.
Look, I'm doing this wrong.
If someone asks you go, and he goes, and Muslims try to, on the core things, they won't compromise. Yep. So, like this weak, watered down Islam, people think that
the feel good Islam.
I mean, Islam is feel good, but people that think that Islam, we should water it down and modernize it and change it, compromise it, change it.
But those people don't say we're changing it. They say Allah is loving.
They're saying that, but when you are compromising all the principles and so forth, then you're changing it. You're now compromising it. You're changing the deen. So, and like you're doing it for what purpose? To make it easy for people come to Islam, for da'wah? No, actually, it's actually it's contradictory. It's actually you're shooting yourself in the foot, and it's counterintuitive to what actually you want to do, which is to spread Islam. So here's an example, and there are many, many other examples as well of people that appreciate that clarity of right and wrong, and where we stand on social issues and so forth. Having said that, at the same time, as a person, someone who's come out of like a very bad jahiliyyah and values that he holds at
it's a long road.
And he will need help, and Allah guide him, and we make dua for him as with all the whole ummah. But I don't think we should be putting him up on a pedestal Islamically. And because we've had those celebrities before, sometimes we are looking. But then you see, subhanAllah, mashallah, I was listening to something of Khabib from the UFC fighter, and he was talking about how, he's an interview about how he's trying to avoid riba.
But Khabib's a born Muslim.
But he's a celebrity that has transcended beyond now. Yeah,
I understand that. But him and Andrew Tate are two very different people.
No, but like what I'm saying, he's a celebrity, he's an athlete, top of his game, espouses many of the traditional values of Islam. Mashallah. And then on top of that, furthermore, he's a practicing brother who prays and so forth. I don't think there should be treated like the guy publicly comes out, he goes, I try to, and he said, I deal with a lot of business people who don't even know. Like that's an amazing thing. I was reading it, he was doing an interview the other day, I was watching it, and he said that I deal with a lot of, because he deals with very big business people, investment stuff, and they don't even know what they're doing is haram, forbidden. So you see, like the guy, he made it financially, and he's a symbol, like, right? And then his guy, his cousin, Islam, he won, he beat, what's his name?
Pereira or whatever?
No.
I don't know much about UFC.
What's his name? blonde hair guy, man, the Brazilian. He beat him, and
Gaethjes?
huh? So he won. He's a world champion now. So that was the next one. Like his father trained,
Inshallah.
and so like they in the pipeline, like.
Yeah.
There's like a mold of Dagestani
Khabibs.
fighters. They're little Khabib's on the way, and he's coaching. You can see him as a coach. He's brilliant as well. So, but those guys, they like very tight knit. Actually,
Yes.
the funny thing is, there's a video. Do you see the video of them when they're little kids?
No.
And the father, Habib's father, is there.
No.
I think he's making the video. You can hear him laughing in the background. So all those kids are there. They're like 8, and they're really not like.
Really?
You can see them. They're really cheeky. Like a whole cousins are like 10 of them around a table, and they.
Inshallah.
But anyway, so he's like he's a traditional, he's like practicing Muslim, and he's doing da'wah, man. Like just by being and without talking too much and without being over the top, and in a simple way, just simple things like a riba is forbidden. Just saying that
That's right.
in a public thing for someone who's very wealthy. Who else says that?
Yeah.
So that's more of an impressive thing. Like we can.
That's right. That's someone that
Yeah.
you
Again,
look
he's
to.
also not an alim, but you have a more confidence that what will come out of his mouth is more in line with Islamic values.
Yes, and principles.
Alhamdulillah, and Allah protect him and give him good health and long life. But
what about
he became Muslim. Then also, he's won. On that day, Habib won 3 times. He won, and then he was in the corner of Bilal Muhammad. He won as well. Canadian American guy, Palestinian. So he wanted
really?
Habib to be in his corner, and Habib was there like and he goes, he won as well. And the third one was one of the other Nur Magomedov. I can't say the names, but Nur Magomedov.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? His cousin.
One of the
He also
dogs.
won on that day. 3 of his three.
Mashallah.
Habib won 3 times. But what else? Yeah, and then what's his name? Alex Pereira.
So you're talking about UFC right
Alex
now?
Pereira beat Israel Adesanya. He beat him. He's now a world champion. So he beat him twice in kickboxing. Now he's beat him in the UFC.
Okay.
And he's Muslim. 2015 he said Shahada.
Pereira?
Brazilian. Yeah. He's a native, like a Amazonian, or what? Indian, Amazonian,
Amazonian.
South American Indian. So he's a big boy, mashallah, 200 centimeters tall, like a, yeah.
They're giants, man.
He fixed up Israel Adesanya. Like it was a slugfest to the last.
I didn't watch it.
It was a slugfest. Like they're both kickboxers who came into UFC.
Okay.
So, but it was it was unbelievable. But anyway, so
Mashallah.
I heard. But yeah, it was
Of course you didn't
so
watch it.
he's also Muslim as well, but he's a quiet guy. Like he does just
Yeah.
even after he won, like no emotion. Like the guy's got no emotion. But very, very cool.
Mashallah.
So like again, these guys that are Muslims, we happy when Muslims succeed.
Yep.
When a Muslim country or a Muslim individual or a community does well,
Yep.
as that's a Muslim, like we feel
Sure.
happy for them, and especially if they're Muslim, and like we identify with that straight away because of Iman, the relationship with Iman. But at the same time, we have to be cautious that he's not Islam, in its
That's my
entirety.
point.
And,
That is
and
my
I think with
point.
Andrew Tate or Mike Tyson,
Especially
or
with
David
Andrew Tate.
Chappelle,
Well,
all
yeah.
Yusuf Islam, they're all good people, we assume, and as
Right. If
give
I
benefit
thought
of the doubt,
if Dave Chappelle is looked upon as if we take our Islam from there, I'm dutching up this room.
yeah. I mean, they deal
Simple.
with they're in a very different world, and
That's
Allah
correct.
guide them in and all the wrong things in their life, like with us as well. All the Allah
That's right.
remove
So
that
many wrong things in my life.
from our
You're
lives.
perfect.
Yeah. Astaghfirullah. Anyway,
On that note,
what?
what's going on?
What else? What's up in Australia? Elections coming up.
Dan
I'm
Andrews.
gonna probably vote Liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's in Australia.
Just
it's,
from the family value stuff and the LGBT stuff, I feel like for the religious protections that are there, the Liberal is trying to at least strive and working with the Christian lobby and all that.
Look, I get that side of things. It's very hard for me to break up with Dan.
Yeah, he's the disaster premier. He's the
And we got a lot more disasters coming, man.
Bushfire.
We live in a disaster.
He's not going to save us.
century.
He's not going to save you on Qiyamah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. May
There's a
Allah
limit to
subhanahu
Dan
wa ta'ala
Andrews.
protect us.
Imagine Dan Andrews on day stuff.
It's not on. All these people going towards the hellfire.
Yeah, we should we should just put in front of him, that you're responsible for all these people going to Jahannam.
But can you imagine?
Astaghfirullah.
Like with that thought process,
Yeah.
we got hidayah.
Yeah. Like
It'd be pretty full on day.
Yeah.
All these people.
Yeah.
May Allah give him hidayah, man.
Yeah, he'll be like,
May Allah give Jimmy
you know,
Barnes
like
hidayah. That's gonna be the
I was
happiest
going to
day
do
of my life.
impersonation of Dan Andrews.
No,
but-
don't.
Look, I personally, the only reason is that
But you shouldn't be
the-
telling us who you're voting for. It's a private thing.
It's a private thing,
matter.
but I feel like on that LGBT thing,
Yep.
which has been pushed down our throats, and then there's no protections for religious organization, Islamic schools, and so forth.
But isn't there really?
No, there isn't.
Well, according to just from my conversations, most Muslim and non-Muslim religious people or conservatives, for want of a better word, are feeling the same way. That's where he's losing them.
Yeah. Like
That is the issue that he's
and
losing.
that's where
them.
that loopy left thing, because the left is compassionate, but when the compassion goes beyond the limits where right and wrong and common sense is thrown out, then it becomes ridiculous.
Bro,
because
some
in
of
Australia,
some of the things that the left is now saying is okay, and to a 40-year-old guy identifying as a 3-year-old girl, and then going to kindy is okay.
yeah, the cat
Like,
girl,
what the hell?
Thundercat late girl,
It's
the boys
madness.
dressing up as girls, and vice. Like these are mental sicknesses. I saw something somewhere where there's a lady in America. She blinded herself because she put acid in her eyes. She wanted to identify as a blind person. She goes, I have a issue and I should not be judged for this. She's blind now. Like you can see, like
That's just depressed me.
yeah. Like Allah's
That's
giving you an
completely
element of
depressed
eyes.
me.
These people are so
I
lost.
wish she hadn't told me that.
Yeah, so like she's happy now that she's blind because she always identifies.
Bro, I saw the other day.
Like someone said,
listen to this.
like you should put some.
There's
Close your eyes.
No, there's a Dutchman
Yeah.
who can walk, right? He now identifies as a woman who travels everywhere in a wheelchair.
This is it.
So
They've opened
does
up.
that-
They've
does
opened up the loony
Does that
bin.
mean
The-
he
the-
gets disabled parking? Guys, I'm buying a wheelchair tomorrow. So,
the loony bin doors. The loony bin doors have been opened,
He
and
literally wears a dress.
They're letting more loose.
Yeah, he literally wears a dress and cruises around in a wheelchair, but he can walk.
Yeah, this is if there was
Where do you stop?
like I mean, saying being ungrateful for bounty is one thing, but this
This
is
has gone next level. But
yeah.
where do you stop?
like
So I identify as a quadriplegic. Does that mean I get an electric chair?
people are looking for something they want to feel, and they want to feel.
Is it the fault of the Muslims that we haven't brought real Islam into our lives, so we can't? So there's no direction. There's no what's the raibar? What's the word? There's no
I don't take
guidance.
responsibility for this lady's
You should.
blinding herself.
You should.
Ah.
It's all on
I
you.
mean, she might have mental issues, body dysmorphia. Or
it is,
whatnot.
but it's
just
obviously body
it's
dysmorphia.
bizarre. Anyway, but we don't have to accommodate all this stuff. Like
Yeah,
this
but the thing is,
that's
if
the
you're
problem.
gonna- but
I
where
think
do you
Matt,
stop?
Matt Walsh, he did the documentary. What is a
What is a
woman?
Woman?
And
Yeah,
but then he was giving some interview to Australian TV or something,
Mm.
and he was just saying like, this is not. I think he was talking to Joe Rogan, and he said this is not. It's not. It's like it's gone beyond the limits.
It has. Well, where do you stop? If
Yeah.
I identify that, I'm one-armed, or I think it's a limb dysmorphia or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that mean the doctor's allowed to cut my hand off if that's what I want? Chop my arm off? Where do you stop?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The guy in the Netherlands or Dutch or whatever who identifies as a paraplegic, does that mean the doctor, if he wants to get the doctors to amputate his legs, they should?
These are stupid these are just dumb. These are just dumb. Like these have to be like we don't have to accommodate all this stuff.
That's
and then we're putting protections in place. These are extreme versions of the same thing, which is the whole LGBT stuff. But the problem, look, we live in a country where the majority has voted for this. All right, we believe it's wrong. We believe that it's forbidden in Islam, but these people are not Muslims. But at the same time, the religious, whether it be Muslims or Christians or Jews or whoever they are, they also don't have protections. Their rights have been taken. And that's the issue here. Somebody can come with a rainbow flag or a pin or something and promote it in the school and publicly identify as something, and then the reason why we made religious schools
is for that really. That's exactly right.
minimize the exposure to ideas that are antithetical to our deen and that we raised in the schools are according to our values.
And that's what
And we
Christian
can't-
schools say, Jewish schools say.
Exactly.
All
So
of these.
so they want to be the people of the book. They don't have protections either. So it's not going to come from the Muslims because we're a small, we're like
That's
3-4%. The big churches, Anglican, Catholics, and so those schools, they have more power to actually enact, and they're connected to the bigger parties. But I think Liberal on this thing has got it right. There's a religious protection bill that they will put, and they were shot down. They presented, I think ScoMo put it forward, and
but he's had holes in it.
Yeah,
that's the problem. He put it forward in a way that it was going to get shot down.
Yeah, so that's I
You
think.
can't, I'm sorry, but that's how I
think.
feel.
Other
with
than
one.
that, in Australia, like left and conservative and progressives in Australia are not like the Americans, which we don't even
they're not extreme.
They don't have healthcare there. They like basic things that we already have all those things in Australia. So, but I think on this social issue, I think this is just and then like Dan Andrews will throw a bone at us and said, "Oh, we're going to do something for you, $2 million. We're going to spend on." What do you call it? Islamophobia. That's just peanuts. Firstly, and we shouldn't be accepting that as a what do you call it? Like that
as an appeaser.
As an appeaser, and then it makes us weak, right? We are such a scared little minority, right? That we need you to start talking about Islamophobia to people. You should be doing that anyway. What's that got to do with the election?
It's not.
Why is the election
not helping us out?
You want to vote in those critical seats, and you're putting this forward as a sweetener and so forth, Muslim to get the votes. You should be doing that because we're citizens of this country. That's not nothing to do with why is that being brought up as an election issue or near the election. So I think we're not stupid, all right? For us, that other thing is more important. The LGBT stuff, the religious protections are more important to us than you talking about Islamophobia. This is not a good bargain, good deal. If this is what it's coming down to, because most Muslims will be thinking about this, So
I haven't had those conversations yet.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like going
Why don't
all
you
out.
run
He's
for-
not stopping. He's
No, he's
pulling
not.
all
Bro,
things.
he's not.
I'm going to build this. I'm going to build
He's
this.
a machine.
Yeah. No, but
He's
the
a
thing is that the
machine.
other party's going to do the same thing. They're going to
No,
build.
they're not.
They're going to build the same
haven't-
things.
They have not got thought out. That's the problem.
Well, he's been in government so long.
They haven't
he's
got a
to
thought out, coherent process. Where you
I
can
don't think
go,
so. I don't think
That makes
once they
sense.
come into government, they'll be right. But
No, they won't.
But I think whatever
This is my problem
this
with the Liberals.
LGBT, this religious protection that are not there for Muslims, I believe is worse than whatever things he pulls out. Infrastructure is going to get built by Liberal as well. They're not
Is it?
in Victoria. It's not going to be much of a difference. The Victoria we have today is a swinging back and forth Australia in general between Liberal and Labor. Sometimes one comes in, does a good job. Sometimes Labor comes in, does a crap job. Sometimes Labor comes in, does a good job. Sometimes Liberal comes in, does a good job. Like on immigration, they did a fantastic job. And then Labor took it on, continued. Because if you want to see where the previous party did well on something, look at what policies the opposition has kept when they came into power. They were just talking against it. Yeah. Like all the immigration stuff, pretty much. Only one thing that they...
below Allah.
Not below Allah.
They let them out.
Fixed, they let them out. But also the Syrians, Australians are stuck in Syria.
That was a big one.
The ISIS one. So you can see the compassion side. All right, we can't just continue them just struggling there, the Australian kids.
Living in limbo.
So the compassion side of Labor is there, and then they brought them in. But everything else in immigration stays exactly the same.
Point.
Manus Island, everything stays the same. Nothing changes. So they will do, there's a bit of back and forth, They will clear the slate of things that according to their values, but they're not going, they're not turning everything upside down. That's not how it works when you come into power. So even Albo comes into power, talked about when he was for the election, green, renewables. When he comes into power, all right, not a flip exactly, but we've got to make sure that people's jobs are secure in the mining and people's jobs are secure in
Who do you reckon call it? You going to call it?
I think Dan Andrews might win, but I won't vote for him. I won't vote Labor. Yeah,
I used to think it was going to be landslide.
Yeah.
But I think these last few issues that have come up recently are shifting the Sweden
and also the
away from
IBAC, the corruption things and the way he talked about it.
What was that?
Labor has been dodgy. That's the thing.
Yeah,
They've done some dodgy things.
What was that?
Yeah,
I forgot all about it. So these things I think are going to have an impact.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close one.
Those things are going to,
it's going to be a close
the
race.
silent majority that keep quiet. We'll see what they're actually thinking.
People
But
actually
I
stand.
reckon they will probably people want a bit of a change after a decade,
Yeah, people are tired.
Yeah, so all right.
Yeah, but the thing is that the left is so vocal, so strong. Think about it. Think about the federal election. At the polling booths, they have such a strong presence.
Yeah, but most people think and they'll say, all right, we'll have Labor. They'll swap it around. But let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah,
He did a good job while he was there. You got to give it to him without taking stuff away.
Dan Andrews?
Yeah, without taking away from him. at the same time.
Let's see. Yeah.
Dictator Dan.
Yeah. I bet you they'll probably Labor might come in and then Liberal, and because Labor's also in federal Labor is also like now the worries at how far they'll go with China because they're sort of like
cozying up a bit too much there. What's going on there?
Yeah, they're in that what's that meeting in Indonesia?
COP20.
COP20, yeah.
Yeah, but Albo and I hope I'm.
What is that?
I haven't seen anything that shows me that Albo was like, dude, this is where we stand on these issues. Not using those words.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's come out as forceful or as strong. Think about it. But I suppose they're playing diplomatic niceties. But how nice are you going to get and how long are you going to continue that for?
Yeah, I think also when you're at Labor and you're responsible for the security of the country, then all your intelligence agencies are giving all the reports, what the Chinese are doing, how they're trying to infiltrate the country.
Well, they did a good job straight after the election going straight to Solomon's.
And the briberies,
Pacific,
and how they try to infiltrate the government, top echelons of the government and so forth. They planted their people, they've groomed people. And those people they're not Chinese, they're white people that they've groomed from university days. Yeah, like they've taken care of them, and so those sort of things, the intelligence agencies would know, like a country like China, how it tries to influence other people's domestic policies that'll be more favorable to them. Because that's the proof of that is how when it comes to votes in the United Nations, Taiwan and all that. All these little countries come out of nowhere and objection, like Samoa, like what do you guys got to do with Taiwan? But they've been paid, they've been bought out by China. So across the world, the influence has been bought out. So anyway, I mean that's coming up. So I mean, everyone should vote according to their conscience. For me personally, the fact that they outright rejected Labor at the top level, they rejected. I'll give Liberal a chance on this. I don't think much will change in terms of anything else. I'm scared for Liberal in the big money interests, like the big companies, if they start.
That's the problem.
At state level, they cannot change the Medicare and all those sort of things, those protections that are there. So as a country, we're safe, inshallah. But I think for the Labor, if some protection laws are there for the religious, so.
If Labor had those religious protection laws, it would be a landslide.
Yeah.
In favour of Dan. That's from my conversations with so many people.
Yeah.
Then there's always good old Adam Bant.
Yeah.
Adam Bant's all right as well, I don't mind him.
Who?
Adam Bant. Or Greens, I should say.
Oh, the Greens, yeah.
Climate change, brother.
Huh?
Bob Brown, God, I miss him.
Who's Bob Brown?
Previous leader of the Greens.
Oh, okay.
The icon of the Greens.
Nobody knows.
You don't know. What else? Apart from that, that's about it.
Rainbow Warrior.
It's getting late.
Yeah.
Got a trip to the Jura tomorrow.
Jura?
Jura.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Right. So
So will you buy Kanye West shoes?
What the hell's that?
Because he's been cancelled. Because he said
I didn't even know he had shoes, dude. My shoes are like.
You know how much he was making? $2 billion. With Adidas, they just cancelled the deal because of anti-Semitic comments.
Damn.
Yeah.
He was making $2 billion.
Like the Yeezys, his shoe brand, man. That's like his brand. That's with Adidas. Like 10% of their sales was his shoes of Adidas.
So what? His shoes are no longer
Adidas.
So his shoes are no longer sold.
Well, they're going to keep selling them, but not under his brand name, right? Because he stuffed them around. He said, I'm so big that Adidas can't cancel me or something. Well, we found out.
Yeah, but they won't sell now. Who's going to buy
them? Mind
you
that Adidas is a Nazi company.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why would you buy them?
They're interesting shoes. They're they're fashionable, right?
Bro.
Anyway.
Shoes are shoes for me.
No, but it's a whole thing that he's created. But he's they're shutting him down every.
Yeah, of course.
Even Dave Chappelle on SNL, he said that every time he went through whatever, I used to call him, but not this time. And, this is something else.
Yeah.
And Dave Chappelle also said something, he goes, when it's a group of black people, it's a gang. When it's a group of Italians, it's a mob. When there's a group of Jewish people, he goes, we can't say anything. So he actually, surprisingly, what he was trying to say was we get... you can understand certain grievances of Kanye West, but the idea that whole group of people together and they conspired,
which is fair.
I think that's maybe It's probably, according to him, he reckons that there is, but others are saying he's having a mental breakdown.
We said some pretty crazy things.
Yeah. So anyway,
Allah protect us all. Thank you for watching.
it's just a show, like in a circus. Yeah.
It's called dunya.
And someone said, as advice, he said, don't tell people about your problems in order to say you become a tamasha. You become a spectacle for others.
Which is true.
Nobody helps you. You have a problem. You tell problems to people. You air out your problems. People don't care about your problems.
Tell
but
problems
you become
to people who actually give a shit, and they're going to advise you.
Yeah, and usually it's in private and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
But you become your problem then gets solved, and you become a spectacle, a show for other people. That's what he's gone he's a super spectacle and just keeps on giving, for entertainment.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, let's call it a night.
Inshallah.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. And Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.